Okay, second day. It's been about 22 hours for the pectin killing enzyme to be in the pot with the mix, and what I've done is I've made a yeast starter. So pretty much what I've done is I've just grabbed some of the wort and I've popped it into a cup. Of course we've sanitised the cup first, and just put a bit of warm water into the cup and a bit of this dextrose sugar here, about 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. Just pretty much put some glad wrap over top, rubber band around the rim, and from this we can just leave this for a couple hours and just really get the yeast going, and then once that's working, that will be our yeast for the actual fermentation. Okay, we have left the liquid for 24 hours to sit, and over here we've got the yeast starter, which you can see by the glad wrap bubble on the top has really started to come alive, which is cool. I've actually pulled out a little bit more juice from the berries last night. Stayed up a little bit later and managed to squeeze those out and boil them over, so that's all nice and clean. Just washing a few utensils and some sanitizer here. Basically what I do to clean my stuff, and I mean cleaning is so important really. You really need to you have to clean everything. I mean, if you don't, you're prone to infection, that sort of thing. I pretty much use powdered dishwashing formula, because as far as I know, I mean that's got a sort of a sterilising agent in it, but I just use that for the initial clean, and then after that I actually go and get my proper sterilising solution and leave stuff to bathe in that for a while. So that's how I sort the cleaning out. And there I've just got my hydrometer and stirring spoon, which is going to be quite useful this time around, because what we need to do is actually add sugar to the mixture, fermentable sugar, so that the yeast will turn that into alcohol and carbon dioxide. So just having a look at some charts and things here, and it's looking like I'm going to need a specific gravity of about 1.1, which in the world of beer and wine appears to give us about a 13% alcohol by volume. I sort of thought, well, if I at least aim for that, then I should be alright. If say not enough alcohol is produced, then maybe it could go down to say 11, 12. I'd still be happy. Over here also I have prepared some tea. That's where I'm going to get the tannin from. All I need from that tea though is just one teaspoon, and I just add that to the mixture over here, and we should be away. So that's what's coming up in a minute. Just getting all prepared, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so we are now up to the stage of adding the tea for the tannin and the citric acid. So half a teaspoon of citric acid, off you go, mix that in a minute, and we needed 1 teaspoon of tea for the tannin. Cool. Bit of a waste of tea, not really into tea, so meh. Right. I'll just give that a bit of a stir. sure that actually mixes in okay. Alright, and as we mix that up, all the fruit sort of comes up off the bottom, so that's pretty cool. Make sure we get it well in there, I guess. I think that should be okay, I mean the fruit being in there, because we've actually got to rack it off later on a couple of times, so not to worry about that. Quite awesome though, seeing the fruit sink to the bottom. You can really tell that the you know, that it, I mean, apart from the dark shade of red that the drink is, you know, it's actually looks like it clears up quite well. So that's probably about right for the mix. Sweet. Okay. Next step, I will take a hydrometer reading of the specific gravity for the mixture, and we'll determine how much sugar we need to push in. Okay, I've just finished putting the sugar, the dextrose sugar into the pot. Just popped it in using half a cup increments, sort of, you know, a couple cups at a time. Ended up using the whole bag, which I think was 1 kilogram, so that's all in there. Stirred the hell out of that, and got our specific gravity reading through the hydrometer here, which came to about 1.1, which, if we check back over here, was meant to be about 13.5% alcohol. That's potential alcohol percentage, 13.5. So if all goes well, that's what we might come out with. But you know, if it doesn't all ferment, then I'm happy with 10, 11, 12. That would be absolutely fine. So on to the next stage. I will pop that back in the pot because that's been sterilised. That should be fine. And then we've got to empty this carboy. Pretty much in here is the sterilising agents, which I've just left in there over the last few days. So